Coming to Curiosity Stream, go on an adventure 66 million years in the making with Dino Week. From new discoveries about the dinosaurs we thought we knew, to the mind-blowing species still being unearthed, and the controversial discovery that could rewrite history. Did dinosaurs survive longer than imagined? Dino Week on Curiosity Stream. And with monthly, annual, and bundled pricing plans, find the one that works for you at curiositystream.com. How long was Neil Armstrong actually on the moon? When did Europe start speaking English? Did Marco Polo really go to China? Curiosity Stream is the streaming service for all things history, plus science, wildlife, and more. What's the real story behind the Mona Lisa? We've got that. What caused the collapse of Rome? We know. Where did we find mankind's earliest ancestor? Come find out. For the holidays, give the gift of curiosity with 25% off gift cards for your curious cohorts. It's holiday shopping season at curiositystream.com/gift.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Paranormal Podcast. My name is Matt Harvey. I am the lead investigator and founder of Deep Woods Paranormal. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about quite a bit of things. Hauntings, Bigfoot, Dogman, Martha's Lights. We have a really amazing guest coming on for next week's podcast, and I'll go over that at the end. But today is special for two reasons. Number one, this is our 50th podcast. So that's amazing. Never thought we'd get to this point. So awesome. We got to 50 and we're going to keep trudging ahead and a lot of cool stuff coming down the pike. We're working on, again, getting new guests to come on and stuff like that. So another awesome thing is if you're watching this on our YouTube channel or you're not familiar with our YouTube channel, we have just gotten to 1,000 subscribers. And if you kind of know me from a long time ago, I had a channel that had, 12,000 subscribers? Something like that. I'd worked on that channel for 4 or 5 years. And unfortunately, because I posted a UFO video, both my Facebook account and my YouTube channel gone. Just wiped off the face of the earth. Was able to get my Facebook page back up, but unfortunately, I lost my YouTube channel. They would not put my YouTube channel back up for some reason. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but yeah, I've already kind of covered that story. So, anyways, let's talk about haunted places. What is a haunted place? A haunted place is a location where you go in and there's just all kinds of strange activity going on. Doors might be opening and closing on their own. You might hear disembodied voices. You might hear footsteps. People might see apparitions quite often. It just has to be a place where you can say this is totally haunted. Maybe hearing your name called, things moving on their own, and stuff like that. We've been to quite a few of those places here in Texas. We've been really lucky. We've picked some good locations, and I kind of want to go back over those. So, one of my favorite locations, and we've been there a couple of times, when we conduct our research, we try and investigate the same location multiple times. Part of the reason for that is we want to make sure that we're getting similar results each time. If we go in and we collect, let's say, 3 or 4 EVPs, which is a lot, and then we get an apparition on camera, and then we're able to use the spirit box and something's actually able to say something that we can actually understand through the spirit box, where we can say, okay, it said that, and everybody in the room can basically say, yeah, I heard that too. Something like that. Maybe we document footsteps. Maybe we see something move. Maybe somebody sees an apparition. Something that is not residual. Well, could be residual too. I'll go into that in a second. But mainly just has to have a lot of activity. Has to have a lot of strange things going on. to be deemed what we would call haunted. I've only been to maybe a handful of places I can actually say were haunted. Now that doesn't mean they didn't have activity or there wasn't spirits or ghosts there. Doesn't mean that things weren't happening, but it means that they just didn't have enough stuff going on that another paranormal investigator come in and maybe get similar results to what we got. And that's why we like to go back multiple times. I like to compare what happened during the first one to the second one. And a lot of these locations I'm about to talk about, we were able to have results, either similar results or better results each time we went in. And I'll kind of talk about that a little bit more. So um, let's talk about the Woodbine Hotel. That is an old hotel. It was built in, I think, 1901, and then 2 years in, it burned down to the ground. Was a larger hotel than was what was rebuilt. But this hotel, I believe, a couple of people died during the fire, and then so it was rebuilt in 1904, and essentially, basically from there on out, it's been a hotel forever. So it's still standing today. I've stayed there a couple of times. The owner is extremely nice. I would highly recommend if you're here in Texas, in Central Texas, towards, even if you're down in the Houston area or Dallas area, it's worth coming down here for. And because we're out of Bryan, Texas. So essentially, that location, God, where do I start with this? So some of the first things that happened is I saw a shadow of a little kid, and we did make contact with him. Um, and then supposedly upstairs there was a little girl who also haunted the hotel. Different areas of the hotel had different activity. The dining room seemed to have at least two or three entities. Um, One of them might have been a Republican senator who visited the hotel quite often for events. His name was Bob, and we had his name come through the spirit box. And so we were able to confirm who Bob was. I'm not going to go into his name and all that stuff, but that was really cool. Another thing that happens on investigations is things happen that you don't expect. We continually asked questions for almost 3 hours in the dining room the first time we were there. Essentially, Ezekiel and about 4 or 5 other names came through the spirit box. And that was pretty interesting. So we have what's called an intelligent haunt. An intelligent haunt means that they can seem to interact with us. They can comprehend what we're saying to them and respond intelligently, either through communication, through an EVP, which is electronic voice phenomenon. Excuse me, I'm stuttering today. Or it's um, a communication through the spirit box. Maybe it shows itself on video, or maybe moves something or does something, lights up the K2, or we can ask a yes no question. If you don't know what a K2 is, you can look it up online. It's just a little device that has 5 lights on it. It's a very sensitive EMF detector. So yeah, that basically is what we're looking for. We're looking for some kind of communication that is intelligent, and that's part of what makes a haunting too. We want to deal with intelligent entities. So in this location, we came across, I think, at least 8 entities, and some of them were very eager to communicate with us. Some of them were playful and didn't really want to communicate with us very much, but kept messing with our gear. God, until then, I had never had a bunch of cameras die out of nowhere. Went to get up, go put a new battery in, and hit record again. Boom! As soon as I sat down, it died. And then we heard a little girl's laugh come through the spirit box after I asked, did you turn that off? and got back up. I finally went out and got a couple of external battery chargers and plugged those into the cameras so that they wouldn't be drained so quickly. Um, but as we went through the dining room, we had so many things come through the spirit box. And I'm not a big fan of the spirit box, if you've heard me talk about it before. Up till the time we moved to Texas, I honestly just I thought the thing was a piece.
If you're a last-minute gift shopper, then Instacart is your holiday rescue app this season. No more tracking packages, no more trips to the post office, and no more Christmas gifts arriving in February. Instead, you can just download Instacart to order gifts like beauty, tech, and gourmet goods from local stores and get them delivered in as fast as 1 hour. Plus, right now, you'll get free delivery on your first 3 orders. This offer is valid for a limited time. $10 minimum per order. Additional terms apply. Must be 21 plus to purchase alcohol where available.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
Piece of garbage. Very sparsely used. Never really got anything really that I could say, oh, okay, it clearly said that until we got to Texas. And I don't know what happened when we got to Texas. It seems like, I don't know, the entities out here are more, maybe they're more friendly, or maybe they just like to talk to people more. I don't know. And that could be true in other states too. I'm not just singling out Texas. I'm just saying from my experiences, because we came from California.
If you're a last-minute gift shopper, then Instacart is your holiday rescue app this season. No more tracking packages, no more trips to the post office, and no more Christmas gifts arriving in February. Instead, you can just download Instacart to order gifts like beauty, tech, and gourmet goods from local stores and get them delivered in as fast as 1 hour. Plus, right now, you'll get free delivery on your first 3 orders. This offer is valid for a limited time. $10 minimum per order. Additional terms apply. Must be 21 plus to purchase alcohol where available.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Check out great deals at Safeway. This week at Safeway, 1 pound of strawberries or 6 ounces of blueberries, raspberries, or blackberries are 3 for $12. Member price. Plus get value packs of USDA Choice Boneless Beef Tri-Tip Roast, untrimmed twin packs for $3.87 per pound with digital coupon. Limit 2 packages. And local green or red seedless grapes for the member price of $1.88 per pound. Also at Safeway, 16 ounces of Jennie-O turkey. Selected varieties are buy one, get one free. Visit Safeway.com or head in store for more deals.
I've investigated California, Nevada, Arizona, Oregon. I've been to Washington, but I've never investigated up there. I've been through about every state except for, I believe, Alaska. This is the only place I've not been. And I've done some investigations here and there, but never have had the results we've had at the Woodbine Hotel. That was the first time that spirit box really came to life, and after that, it really got me thinking. Okay, this thing's great. I really like this thing now. So the Woodbine Hotel, as we went, we made contact with several other entities, and I don't want to spoil it. If you want to go watch the Woodbine Hotel on our YouTube channel, you can find it on there. But yeah, we made contact with Danny in the bar area, and he was like a 7 or 8 year old kid, and he really enjoyed playing with the K2s and talking through the spirit box. And we actually spent multiple days there and had multiple communications with him and the other spirits too. Ezekiel. I mean, where does Ezekiel come out of a spirit box? That was insane. Civil War came through. We asked if he was a soldier. It was, Civil War soldier. He fought in the Civil War. Um, just all kinds of other crazy things came through. And then as the night went on, a couple that was staying upstairs, of course, had their experience where the door jiggled on its own and a little girl pounding on the door, "Let me in. This is my room." So, yeah, if you ever get a chance to stay up in that room, oh boy. And then we had the armoire doors pop open twice. And then I woke up and saw that little girl standing there watching me. She didn't look very happy that I was there. The other time we were there, we did a Halloween special there. And again, we got similar results. A lot of stuff came through the spirit box. They answered our questions intelligently with intelligent responses. And then we just made contact with a lot of spirits. A light went off and on its own. And then when I was sleeping, a light turned on. It was off. It was unplugged. This light was unplugged sitting next to the bed. It turned on, turned off, turned on, turned off. And then I woke up to the smell of what smelled like sugar cookies cooking. And it smelled really good, to be honest with you. This is at 3 o'clock in the morning. And so I went downstairs. There's nobody there. Ovens aren't on. Nothing's on. So, yeah, I mean, it was weird. Smells can also be associated with ghosts too. But this went on for like a half an hour or so before I finally fell back asleep. So, that's one example. The Normandy Inn. Let's talk about the Normandy Inn because everybody talks about the Normandy Inn. Give me just a second here. Sip of my soda. All right, so the Normandy Inn. This is one of those places that is possibly haunted, but unfortunately, because it basically didn't have power for like 13 years and was sat abandoned, and this building was just getting destroyed by people stealing copper out of the walls and stealing air conditionings and stealing all kinds of stuff, all the venting for the air conditioning, and just stealing anything they could steal out of this building. And then basically the locals, I mean, I have nothing wrong with the locals. I have nothing against them. They just thought this place was demonically haunted. Some people had gone in and done some satanic rituals in the location, and then voodoo was also performed in the location to counter the satanic rituals. So, I mean, when we first went in, I'm going, okay, great. This is going to be a demonically haunted location. There's going to be all kinds of strange things happening, yada, yada, yada. And first night we were there, we had very little activity. I think Amanda and Elena had an apparition show up in front of them. And I could have sworn I heard a little kid's giggle or something like that. So we didn't collect a whole lot of data. The next night we went back, or the next afternoon, we went back just to, hit it up again. I got there about 2 hours early before the investigation was supposed to start. I went out and I put out about 8 EM pumps. And what an EM pump is it's just a little box. It's probably no more than 4 inches long by about an inch and a half tall by maybe 2 or 3 inches wide. And if you've ever had an old air pump for your fish tank, that's basically what this reminds me of. I think it just creates some kind of energy, some kind of EMF that the spirits can use to manifest in some way. And when I say manifest in some way, I mean either show themselves, make a noise like footsteps or disembodied voice, maybe communicate through our audio recorder, through an EVP, or communicate with us in some other way, maybe talk through the spirit box. So, that said, essentially, we once I did that and everybody kind of showed up, all of a sudden the K2 meter started lighting up. And the more the K2s lit up, it was like, okay, we can have a conversation now. And we came across a couple little kids, and we were playing with the little kids. We were playing like hide and seek and stuff. Again, a sign of intelligence. So we went upstairs, and we used the spirit box, and we didn't get a lot of activity off the spirit box either night. Nothing really happened. Nothing came through. But as we were getting to the last hour or so, we started getting a lot of stuff coming through the spirit box. And it was like, I had no idea what it was saying. It was really hard to understand it, but a bunch of it was little kids talking to us and stuff like that. I think one of our other members saw a little girl peer out from one of the doors. I had seen her too upstairs I believe it was on the second floor. There's 3 levels. This is an 18, I think it's actually more like 24 room mansion. And it's just really cool. It's down in Galveston, Texas. So the more we went, the more the pumps ran, the more activity we started to get. And towards the end, a woman's voice started coming through on the spirit box. And we weren't even talking to her. We weren't even talking. I just left it on as I was kind of picking up. And all of a sudden, I started to understand what she was saying. You need to leave. It's time for you to go. Go now. And it just went on. If you can watch our video of it. And then something crazy happens. So I'm not going to spoil it for you. If you've not seen the Normandy Inn ghost hunting investigation, you might want to go check that out. It's on our YouTube channel. Really cool location. We were the only ones to legally investigate that place. I think a couple of people broke in, but they never really did a full-on investigation down there. All right, not to bring Bigfoot into this, but Joe's camp, yes. So Joe's camp is also haunted. What I really have not talked about is the fact that he has a lot of family members that are buried on his land. He's got 55 acres up in East Texas. I'm not going to go into where his property is. We have several videos coming out from the last investigation at his camp on our YouTube channel. You can check that out. Or you can go back and watch the original YouTube videos of Joe's camp. OMG. I mean, if I didn't believe in Bigfoots, I did after that. But yeah, we had a lot of strange things happen. Like the K2 started going off, and Joe came out and said, "Is this my uncle?" And it starts lighting up like crazy. And it was like somebody was just like super excited. It was really cool. We were having cool interaction. And then the cameras kept draining. And then I finally took the one camera that kept draining off the tripod, set it down on the table where we were sitting as our base camp. And the thing starts turning off and turning on, turning off and turning on. And that went on for about 2 or 3 minutes. And we documented that as well. But I'm not sure that made it onto Joe's camp, the first video series that we did up there. We spent about 1.5 years investigating Bigfoots on this property, but we did have a lot of strange ghostly experiences as well. So moving on. So yeah, I wanted to talk about, I know a lot of people in the Bigfoot world go, where Bigfoot territory is usually haunted, said to be haunted. In my experience, I've been to a lot of different places that supposedly had Bigfoots. And anytime I've had an encounter with Bigfoot, usually it's there's ghost activity as well. Black Star Canyon is a really good location for this. I mean, anything paranormal could happen up there. Bigfoot, Slender Man, Dogman, UFOs. I mean, I met military personnel 2:00 in the morning walking back and four-star generals there are waiting for me, asking me questions about what I'm doing and all this other stuff, which was a little weird. But anyways, yeah. So I mean, um, every place I've ever investigated Bigfoots, there's been some kind of shadowy figures or some kind of ghost-like activity. You know, like Black Star, I used to investigate up there. We get EVPs, and we get the K2 going off, and we'd have lots of activity. We'd see apparitions and stuff like that. And then as time went on, I kind of built a relationship with the ghosts up there. They kind of learned to trust me, and because they had seen me so often, they started communicating with me more. I used the K2, not a spirit box, just the K2. And I'd ask, "Oh, have you seen a big hairy thing around here, a big hairy man?" And the K2 would light up. And I'm like, "Are they close?" And it would either light up or it wouldn't. Sometimes it didn't light up, but sometimes it did. And then there would be some crazy activity, and the ghost would just like freeze. Everything would stop. And then the Bigfoot activity would end, and I said, I would say, "Okay, did you see that? Are you scared of that?" And the K2 would light up accordingly. So Black Star Canyon out in Orange County, California is another place that is haunted. You have to be really careful when you go up there. Things really like to go home with people up there. So anyways, I would say in my experience, and not probably every canyon or every forest or whatever is haunted, but the more I read about Bigfoot locations, the more I'm also seeing that they're possibly haunted. And it's like, okay, so they seem to go hand in hand. The Bigfoot and the ghosts seem to go hand in hand. I don't believe that Bigfoot is some kind of interdimensional being. I just don't. I don't think that they may be able to cloak, and cloak may be the wrong word. They're able to blend into their environments so well, Bigfoots are. I'm starting to wonder if maybe their fur is a little bit translucent, like a polar bear, so that wherever they go, whatever their background is, they kind of blend in with that environment. Their fur doesn't necessarily change colors, but it could, because it is clear, it could change from green to brown to having a reddish tint or whatever, depending on what they're standing next to. I don't think they're able to change the color of their fur, but I do think that maybe some of it's a little translucent. And then, of course, they, for some reason, their hair is always similar colors to their environment, dark in nature. I've only seen one that was red, one Bigfoot that was red, and so the more I look into it, that's the more I think that maybe they could possibly, some of them could have translucent fur, not all of them, but some of them. I also believe that they just know how to blend into their environment. I mean, just really stand still and whatever else. If you watch the upcoming Joe's Camp videos, we did get another Bigfoot on trap cam. It probably is a juvenile. I believe it's probably about my height, probably about my build. And when they're young like that, that's pretty much what they look like. They're not these huge, bulky, huge creatures. They're our size. And, I don't know how old it was or whatever, but it's standing there literally trying to look like a tree. And it does a pretty good job. But the video is 12 seconds long. The only reason I realized it was there was when I was going through the trail cam, I went through the one before it, and then I went to the next one, and it's like, wait, what's that? And then it wasn't in the next one. And I'm like, oh. And as I start looking at it, I'm like, oh, wait, I can make out legs. I can make out arms. I can make out the fur. And it had really long hair. I mean, really long hair hanging off of its body. And then the head wasn't as easy to see. It was more up into the tree line and into the brush behind it, blended into the brush behind it. But Anyways, all right. So another creature that is seen out here is Dog Man. I've never come across Dog Man. Supposedly, they're in areas where Bigfoots are. I've looked for them a little bit, but I've never come across any huge footprints. I talked about, a witness basically having the Men in Black on the last podcast show up and basically take the body, clear their phone, and all this other stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think Dogman are real as well. If you there's a famous case of a road, the Beast of Brer Road, that basically has Dogman written all over it, just like a huge, almost like a werewolf type creature. Some of them supposedly stand up to about 14 feet or taller, and they come in all shapes and sizes, just like Bigfoots and just like us too. But supposedly this one, whenever there's any kind of roadkill, it will run out and grab it. It doesn't matter if a car's coming or not. It's been spotted multiple times, and then always gives the people a stare down, and then disappears back into the forest there. So in the future, we probably will go look for a Dogman. I just got a new tent, a 2-person tent that I can pack into my backpack. And then I'm going to get a new air mattress that is much lighter than the one I have. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and put my backpack together. And I'm probably going to start out from location A and go to location B or C or D or whatever. I'm going to spend some time in the future here in Bigfoot territory, hiking and staying in areas where there's supposedly Bigfoot activity. All right, so this video is getting a little long. Lastly, next week we are having on Dr. Christopher Macklin. Excuse me, I can't talk today. Dr. Christopher Macklin. He is a huge UFO, aliens, abductions, Space Force. He's into all of that. He researches it. I know a few people in the UFO world. I mean, it's part of the paranormal, but it's like a study of its own. If you're going to research UFOs, it's just so involved that you really have to dedicate all of your time to it. Like us, we do a little bit of Bigfoot research, a little bit of ghost hunting, a little bit of Dogman research. We look into other crypto creatures, and we look into UFOs and stuff like that too. But we don't dedicate our full time to it. So it's going to be really interesting to pick his brain and see what he has to say. I don't know how long that podcast is going to be, probably between a half an hour and an hour. So just be prepared for that. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. This podcast is getting a little long. Thank you guys for listening. If you're on our YouTube channel, please like and subscribe. Help us keep our channel growing. Like I said, we just reached 1,000 subscribers, and our podcast is also growing every week. We're moving on up. So thank you guys again. You guys stay haunted, and we'll talk to you on the next one.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.